Hey, Roger Martin here from Billings, Montana. This is the 5 on Fox. I think some important things were said here in the ending. This guy here was joking around a little bit, but dead serious. I think one of the things is we need to call the senator. He gave a number out for the head area for calling the senator. We should be calling the senators.
Who they can't call. So that's it. We shouldn't be talking about that. But I want to go to a bigger message here.
He says we shouldn't be talking about who they can and can't call because they have no authority. The Congress has no authority in the Senate. They've given their managers authority to represent one side, but President Trump has lawyers on the other side. And the Senate leader has full jurisdiction on what to do with this and the votes on this after two sides are presented their case in the next 2 days, 48 hours. Are they going to call witnesses, or are they going to close it down and say that it's not legal, it's not constitutional? We'll see what happens in 2 days. But he gave a number here to call, and I'm going to play that number here.
Here, Dana.
Okay.
All right. The problem with the news is that we're an easy mark, right? We believe in the definition of objectivity is turning the camera on and showing what's happening. The problem is there's no defense against being exploited. So what the Dems, they're very smart. You can get objective news by creating this spectacle, and everybody has to put the camera on it and preempt shows like The Five because we got.
See, and this is why this fake news, they're giving this show, they're following this, but it doesn't mean it's true and accurate. It means that's what they're showing. So people have to be smarter on what the news is showing and what is really happening. There's a big difference.
Got to show it because it's big news. So when we're preempted by something called the news, remember, it's only news because they're telling you it's news. The pomp and circumstance, the slow walk, the dramatic pauses, the language, it's all fakery. It's artifice to make you feel like it's news when it's not. So I have a suggestion to the viewer at home who feels hopeless, all right? You can call your senator and you can tell them to get this crap over with as soon as possible because you want to watch The Five. I want you to get a pen. Get a pen right now. 202-224-3121. That is the main operator for the Senate, and they will connect you to the specific Senate office that is your senator. And you can tell them, get this thing over with because you're not going to miss an episode of The Five. It's just not.
Okay, let's get to this number. All right, so I got the number 202-224-3124. Again, that is 202-224-3124. And I encourage you to call your senator. I'm gonna.
Not fair. Yeah. And feel free to call Fox News and let them know that we should all get raises, especially me.
The thing about the witnesses, Emily, is that we're talking about this now, but there's phase one that has to happen, which is setting the rules of the road. Each side gets 24 hours to make their case, and it is only after that then they will go to the issue of specific witnesses if there were to be any. So I think it is possible that after 48 hours, and you don't have to use the whole 24 hours per side, that at that point, maybe they'll decide that they've heard enough? Correct. Is that being too hopeful that this gets over with quickly?
It's probably being hopeful, but you're right that the senators take a vote after they have heard both sides present their entire story, whether they feel that a witness's testimony is required to resolve the articles of impeachment. And I have to take issue with one thing that you said. This isn't an impeachment hearing. This is an actual trial, and it's not a criminal court of law trial that we're used to.
See, that's the important thing. This is an actual trial. This is an actual trial. It's not a criminal trial, but it is an actual legal trial.
To maybe when we watch TV, but this is an actual trial, and it can lead to a conviction in the Senate. And I think it's important to highlight
a conviction in the Senate. Now, is the conviction going to be going to make this null and void? Is it going to be appealed to the Supreme Court? Is it going to be a conviction that he's guilty? Or is he going to be, let off the hook? It's not constitutional. There's no real high crime or misdemeanor. And it's going to rest in the Senate. It's not going to rest in the Congress. The Congress has the law constitutionally to bring up these articles of impeachment. They've done so, but they've done very weakly and poorly on them, and they're not high crimes and misdemeanors. So they're not even criminal. So this could be acquitted, and the president could be acquitted, and it could be over. But this is an actual trial. The president doesn't have to be there. He's got his representatives there. He's not there.
Just for viewers too, especially because we're beginning tomorrow, on what the arguments are on that the president's team is arguing. They are arguing both procedural and substantive. They are saying that they're...
Now this is important. They're arguing both procedural and substantial.
There was no crime alleged, and that the Constitution, and its plain language meaning, without everyone extrapolating, just what it says, plain and fair, is that it needs to be a crime alleged, and also that it has to be a high crime. And it's not...
It's not a crime, and it's not a high crime. Just plain and simple language.
You have to have both together. And then they are also, and that was, by the way, successful in a prior impeachment testimony. And I know I'm not necessarily saying anything mind-blowing that people don't already know, but I think it's important to package this in a way that viewers understand going into tomorrow, because there's about to be a lot of hours of drivel where everyone is captivated by news covering this, because it is important that they need to understand what they're talking about, and also that there will be a defense substantively saying, and regardless, this is not an abuse of Congress, and this is not impeachment worthy.
So you're saying call your senator also?
Yeah. One quick last point. It's not these impeachment managers, and it's not the senators, and it's not the House whose right it is to a fair trial. It is the president's, it is the defendant's right.
It's the defendant's right to a fair trial. We've always been that way in this country. Always. This is a legal trial.
To a fair trial.
And then you mentioned that this could lead to a guilty verdict, but it could also, at the end of it, lead to an acquittal, which is what happened for others, and that's important for history as well. All right.
All right. That's it. This is the Fox 5. We'll give you the source on this. So this is coming up today and tomorrow. I just want to remind you to call your senator, 1-202-224-3121. I'm going to call my senators and tell them. I know Daines is for getting this over and probably done right. My other senator, he's great in some areas, but other areas he is a real pain in the butt. All right, it's Roger Martin from Billings, Montana. Good day.